There's this woman who lives in my neighborhood that I know kind of well. Like I've seen her over the years, and something happened with her and my brother-in-law. I don't know what though. She never really tells me, and I have no clue what she's talking about. I don't know the business that they conducted together. I don't know. I think he did some work for her or something. I don't know. So anyway, I see her and she's like, "Oh, hey, Tommy." I'm like, fuck." My brother-in-law never calls her, and so anyway, this is going on. And I look to my right, and sitting on a bench next to her is Bernhard Goetz, who is, I don't know if you know who that is, but he's the subway vigilante from New York, who from 1984. That it was this huge, infamous case that kind of encapsulated the problems with New York City and how crime was so out of control. So he was this guy who was kind of this meek, timid white guy with glasses who looked really nerdy. These four black teenagers. That was a big thing too in the city. Not that it's been resolved, but like race relations were very fraught. So I guess they were like kind of harassing. They basically tried to rob him. Bernie Goetz, when I was a kid, was this huge cultural icon in New York. Like he was, it was national, it was international. I've seen numerous documentaries about it. He's referenced in pop culture so many times. Like Billy Joel references him in "We Didn't Start the Fire." I'm having this, interaction with this woman that I don't really know that's kind of angering me. And I look and, just to make it even weirder, Bernie Goetz is right there staring at me because we're kind of, I'm having an argument with this woman kind of. And I don't know what I was in a really bad, this interaction with my brother-in-law. I don't even know what's going on. I have no idea why she's saying he owes her money. And then finally I go, do I owe you money? And she's like, "What? No, you don't owe me money. Mike owe me money." And I'm like, "Well, then why are you mad at me?" And then I go, go, "Oh, do you know Jeff? Where's Jeff? Can you call Jeff?" And she's like, looked really confused. She's like, who's Jeff? Who's Jeff? And I go, "Jeff, he's this guy I know that he owes me money. Like when I was in 11th grade, I gave him money. He never paid me back. Can you call him and get my money?" So at one point I look up and Bernie Goetz is like staring at us, and he kind of like made this face at me, like almost like he was like uncomfortable, like being around the situation. And then he like got up and walked away, and I guess went to like feed squirrels. And I was like, "What is this? Is like." I'm in an altercation with someone on the street, and it's so uncomfortable and awkward that Bernie Goetz is like, "Hey, this is too much for me. Get me out of this. I can't handle this kind of stress in public in New York City." Freaked out. I'm like afraid. Part of me is afraid he's just gonna freak out on me, because it's such an odd thing, seeing someone like that, because he's famous, but he's not like famous for doing things. He's not like a celebrity. Like if you see someone who's famous and you approach me like, "Hey man, what's up? I'm like a really big fan of your movies or of your acting." What am I going to say to him? Like, "Hey man, I really like the way you shot at those guys." I was about to say something like, "Hey man, what's up?" But I didn't say anything. But that was an interesting thing.